Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a culinary blueprint for a meal that feels super high-end, but believe it or not, you can make it right at home. And the best part? The main event all happens in just one pan. Okay, let's dive right in. We're talking about a one-pan masterpiece that's all about balance. You get this unbelievably tender chicken, and it's paired with a sauce that just dances on your palate. It's savory, a little bit sweet, and has this bright acidic kick at the end that just ties everything together perfectly. All right, first things first. Before you even think about turning on the stove, you gotta get prepped. In the cooking world, they call it mise en place. It just means everything in its place. And trust me, this is the secret to a super smooth, stress-free cooking experience. No more frantically chopping an onion while something else is about to burn, right? So let's see what we need to get lined up. Okay, so here are the building blocks for all that flavor. For the chicken, you can see we've got the classics, onion, garlic, but also bell peppers for that sweetness and fresh thyme, which gives it this amazing earthy note. And for the rice, we're keeping it simple, but every ingredient has a job to do. That red onion and the spring onions, they're gonna add so many delicious layers. Okay, now for the really fun part. We're gonna build this entire dish layer by delicious layer. And we're starting with what is, in my opinion, the most satisfying step of all, getting that perfect, golden, shatteringly crispy skin on the chicken. So you want to know the secret to that incredible crispy skin? It's all about starting with a hot pan and placing that chicken's skin side down. You'll hear that immediate sizzle. That's the sound you want. It means the fat is rendering and creating that amazing texture. Now, don't rush this part. Seriously, be patient. Once it's a deep, gorgeous golden brown, give it a flip, sear the other side for just a bit, and then take it out and set it aside for later.
Okay, hold on. Before we do anything else, I want you to look at the pan. See all those little browned bits stuck to the bottom? That, my friends, is called fond, and it is pure flavor gold. Do not clean this pan. We're gonna build our entire sauce right on top of that stuff, scraping up every last bit of that chickeny goodness. That's the whole idea behind flavor layering.
And here we go, putting that idea right into action. Those onions, they're going straight into that rendered chicken fat, and they're just gonna soak up all that incredible flavor as they get soft and golden. Then in go the aromatics, your garlic and tomato, and we'll cook those down until they create this rich, sweet foundation for our entire sauce. All right, now we're building on that amazing base. The streamed tomatoes and chicken broth are gonna create the body of the sauce. And the bell peppers, they'll add a really nice sweetness. But here's where we get smart about it. We're adding some red wine vinegar to cut through all that richness, a tiny pinch of sugar to really make the tomatoes pop, and that fresh thyme for that classic can't-beat-it aroma. And now, the star of the show makes its grand return. Just take each piece of that beautifully seared chicken and nestle it right back into that incredible sauce. Let them all get nice and cozy in there. Okay, now we pop a lid on it and let it simmer away for about 30 minutes. And believe me, this is where the magic really happens. Inside that covered pan, that chicken is finishing its cooking journey, just soaking up all the complex flavors from the sauce. It's gonna be so juicy, so fall off the bone tender when we lift that lid. Just you wait. So while our chicken is doing its thing in the pan, we've got this perfect 30-minute window. And we are not going to waste it. We're not just making some boring old side dish. Oh no. We are making an upgraded jasmine rice that's totally special enough to share the plate with that amazing chicken. You know, this slide says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you've got plain old boiled rice. And yeah, it's fine. But look at the other side. With just a couple of extra ingredients and a little technique, you get something that's aromatic, rich, and full of amazing texture. It's the difference between a side dish that's just an afterthought and one that's a real thoughtful part of the meal. Okay, so first things first, you're just gonna cook the jasmine rice like you normally would. Combine it in a pot with your water, a little bit of oil, and some salt. Bring it up to a boil, then clamp on the lid, turn the heat way down, and just let it simmer. In about 15 minutes, you'll have a perfectly fluffy base to work with. And here it is, the simple but absolutely brilliant upgrade. While that rice is steaming, you get another pan and gently saute some red onions in butter until they're soft and sweet and golden. Then, once the rice is done, you just fold that fluffy rice right into the pan with those buttery onions. To finish, a handful of fresh chopped spring onions for that clean, sharp bite. The contrast is just fantastic. All right, the timer's dinging. The aromas that have been filling your kitchen are just out of this world, right? And now it's time for the grand finale, the deeply, deeply satisfying payoff, plating this beautiful meal. So, to finish this masterpiece, you're gonna lift that lid and just spoon some of that rich, fragrant sauce right back over the top of the chicken. Sprinkle it generously with fresh parsley. That's gonna add a nice pop of color and a bit of brightness. Then you serve that tender chicken and all that glorious sauce right over a big bed of that buttery, onion-infused rice. Wow. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's that by using a few simple, smart techniques, like building all that flavor in just one pan and giving your side dish a little love, you've done way more than just cook some chicken and rice. You've actually composed a complete, balanced meal, one with incredible layers of flavor and texture that would be right at home in any great restaurant. So, you see, you've just seen firsthand how a few thoughtful steps can turn simple, everyday ingredients into something truly spectacular. It just goes to show you, great cooking isn't always about super complicated recipes. It's about technique. Now that you've absolutely mastered the one-pan dinner, it leaves just one question, doesn't it? What will you create next?